So, Jim, if you want to, I will give you the credentials if you want to see, but I will show you right now what's available here. So we have 5 nodes, and most of the stuff is in the jobs session. So there is some jobs you can dump Java heap and Docker information. If we will see some problems with the testnet, to make it easy to investigate, we can deploy some stuff, schedule the deploy some just to allow the deck to grow while no one is using the testnet. Then we can show how to propose logs to figure out how much time does auto proposing takes. Show blocks to see what's the current block height on every node. Show the last finalized block, start and stop node. So start node, here we can do pretty much everything. Network ID. So the thing that you're interested in is the bond base amount and bonds file. So you can put in bonds file everything you need, wallets file, and that's it. You run job and all the nodes will be spinned up. We can stop node, but I don't know if we ever need to stop the nodes. So mostly we need to start fresh network if we ruin it. So that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions?
No, I think once we do it a time or two, we'll be, at least with me, I'll be more comfortable with it. But yeah, it's I like the layout of the screen.
So we have a bunch of nodes running now. Mm-hmm. Okay, how do we see what version of our node is running?
Here, we can start every version. So we can put here our nodes 9, 10, or whatever.
Okay, so this is the Docker?
Yes, we're running Docker images.
How come Docker is spelled wrong?
Sorry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, Jim, you got an eagle eye.
So guys, do you have any more questions? Because I need to work on the DAP stuff.
No, I don't have any.
I wanted to show tonight.
I'm all set.
Okay, guys. So see ya.
Okay, thanks, NetZipper. Appreciate it.
So those credentials, I need those credentials sent to me.
Yeah, NetZipper, he sent them to me through private direct message in Discord, so he'll send them to you that way. So yes, so NN8. So yeah, there's another test. rnode testing on Thursday. We haven't been recording any of those. So he's in NN8.
Huh? They have been recorded.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Last week, I don't think we recorded it.
But we don't have one that's a walkthrough. That's a good point of having a walkthrough. You know, kind of a step-by-step on spinning up a node.
I mean, I just haven't. I'm sure I can do it just reading the documentation.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
So in our are you in Discord by chance? Are you following the R chain? Well, I assume you are.
I literally signed on while you guys were talking. And
Okay. Well, actually, here, let me share my screen and I'll get you oriented on where to go because there's a lot of channels, and I'll just give you that guidance so you don't get frustrated. So let me share my screen here. And I'm Steve, by the way.
Thanks. Do you happen to know what the deal is with, it says claiming an account? Do you know what that's about within Discord?
Claiming an account. Let's see here. So,
if not, no worries.
Yeah, offhand, yeah, that one I don't know.
Okay, I'll figure that out.
So once you get into the the rchain Discord, so most of the activity will be in the in the members, but down here in developers is where you want to be. So we have development. So, oh, by the way, if you're a developer, or if you're interested in developing any apps, there's a DApp developer working group meeting today at 7 p.m. UTC, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What time zone are you in by chance?
Eastern United States.
Oh, 3 p.m. Okay, so before you leave, I'll put the calendar. We have a calendar of all the different meetings during the week, and some you may be interested in some of those. But the link to the DApp group will be in that. So there's three. So under development, there's the three channels you'll be most interested in. So we have public testnet, sandbox testnet, and then node testing. So they're all a little bit different. So the one, the two that you'll be interested in initially, so it's going to be public testnet. So that's the 10 nodes that are out there for the everyone to connect with and get familiar with running an rnode. And then you may, if you start developing apps, you may say, hey, I want to run a rnode locally on my computer, so I can run my app and see how it works. So that's going to be node testing, local nodes, local node networks, and then sandbox is what we were talking about today. So this is sandbox is a community effort, although rchain is providing the infrastructure of the 5 nodes, but it's basically me, Jim, who's on the call, and then Nutzipper, who just left. We're going to be the community administrators for sandbox, with the idea that, hey, once you kind of get rolling with this stuff and you want to really, you've got an app and you want to really pound the thing and stress it, to figure out, how you can break things and improve it. Sandbox is going to be that environment. So, so start off with the public test. So if you have questions on just getting oriented, public testnet and the node testing, and those are the support or the rchain development team. So. They'll, of course, they'll, all of us are kind of in there helping each other out. But if no one can answer it or no one's available, then the rchain development team, they're ultimately responsible for helping you get your answer so you can get up and running.
Right. Great.
Yeah. So and that's it pretty much. So cool. Yeah. Before you leave here, let me throw the calendar in the chat so you can grab that and have that handy. So, and what I'm going to put in there, this is New York time. So, so let me stop sharing my screen here. So, and Jim is the keeper of the calendar.
Actually,
so,
there's a bunch of people in the community that.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I think you have admin.
That's dangerous. So, yeah. So with the calendar, there's all sorts of good stuff during the week, to help get oriented as far as, what's going on in the RChain world, and then there's the RChain, and then there's the collab. You'll hear everyone talking about collab, and Jim on the call. He's the head of the collab, or he initiated it. So he's a very community oriented. So that's kind of what the collab is about. But other than that, so I mean, there's once you kind of get making some progress, there's lots of opportunity to go off in different directions that you're interested in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Here's an invite to the collab, and the collab is a place where where we're trying to cooperate with other communities like Digital Life Collective and Follow Chain Parity. It's sort of a community space that we control. So
yeah. So it extends out beyond RChain.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I was curious, the distinction.
Yeah.
So the Discord I'm in now is that's kind of the RChain. They control that.
That's
right. That's the
okay.
official. That's the official RChain Discord server, and then the collab is more just the collection of people who are interested in blockchain technology.
Yeah.
RChain is certainly the focus, but we want to learn more about other things that are going on out there.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. That's a huge start.
Okay. Hey, that's, getting oriented and kind of knowing which direction to go is certainly helpful. So, but yeah, if you have any questions, so it's certainly in Discord, we're all, you'll probably, either one, people will help you out, but in the collab, we're probably a little bit more friendly there, more support that way.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's really good to know. I mean, just the vibe I'm getting here is what you're saying. I'll get there.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it. You'll get more of this vibe. It's a different vibe in the regular RChain, and so
right, they're probably more technical.
Yeah, and it's more, since they're talking about the platform, you get into more personal, issues about the rock and the price of rock, and people. There's a lot more emotions, especially in the general channel. You have people who are in RChain for other reasons, and it's a mixed bag of why they're there.
Sounds like they're working out decision-making stuff. And
well, what it is, so RChain is a co-op, and that's a big element to this. So it's as a RChain member, you're a part of the co-op, and that's the governance model. So it's this radical transparency and this inclusion. So I work for the phone company, which was more, that's the epitome of being centralized.
Right.
A co-op is the completely opposite. When I think of co-op, I think of like a farm co-op, but this isn't. We're not farmers. This is all IT world. So we're all trying to figure out what a co-op is and the governance model. So it's a neat, but it can be a little chaotic. So
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for all that orienting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your interest? What's your interest in RChain?
I mean, I zoom way out. Maybe 15 years ago, I was at Penn State and just had this epiphany of like, if we can put all the world's institutions online, make them real time, then boom. And ever since then, I've been researching how to do it. I'm just fascinated with languages and all that kind of thing, and kind of so from that perspective, I've like Greg Meredith is kind of becoming a hero. I'm just like, and so I'm basically just kind of trying to grok the math and the languages in general, but but Rolang in particular now.
Yeah.
And just see like deep structures. That's another big thing I'm just into. All, you know, no matter what, it's just like, what's the deepest essence of what's going on here? And so, I mean, I just made the aha connection of like, oh, okay, you had lambda calculus, which made all the functional languages, and all you're doing is, what do you call it? The substitution site. You're making names for that, and that's all it is. And well, I mean, technically, eventually, the language can go in a whole bunch of different directions, but you know. So, anyways, I'm fascinated with all that, and in the meantime, you know, I'm actually learning. I'm doing a tutorial and learning the Rolang that way as well. And another big part of it is that essentially I've envisioned what would be the ultimate operating system if you were to take, you know, all the history of computer science, and if you were to hypothetically be able to integrate it all together. And the theoretical work that R-chain and Rolang and row calculus is based on does a huge chunk towards creating the ultimate language, really. So to be able to study that is huge for me.
Awesome.
That's awesome. There was one last thing I was going to put in the channel here that you might be interested in since you were talking about the math component. So you have going from lambda calculus to pi calculus to row calculus, and that's kind of moves you along into the world of computational calculi. So here's a YouTube link. So there's 12 classes or presentations on computational calculi. So I'm up at about 5 or so, and I'm just trying to get the concepts in the terms that it's taught by Greg Meredith. So this is the math. He goes so these 12 introduction presentations go over the essence of what it's all about. So
maybe. I already got a few into those. And
okay.
Then I discovered the study group that kind of started a few weeks. I think they have 4 videos before that, and then they alternate. The playlist for the study group alternates after those first 4 weeks, alternates between Greg's class and their study group, which in part covers what they did after each class. They have some discussion, it looks like. So yeah, that's what I'm eating up.
Yeah, now I'm not quite familiar with this study group. Do you have a link to those videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested in.
Let me find that. Yeah, because it's kind of, you know, stepping back and creating some even more background. Because
right.
Let me see if I can find that.
There's a computational calculus channel in the collab, and they have a weekly session.
Okay.
And there's, it's more theoretical, but there's also a whole history of videos from that particular group as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if that's them, because they mentioned they had a Discord. I don't know if they had their own Discord. I doubt they had their own. It was part of, and I just didn't know there were 2 kind of Discord. I mean, I'm assuming you guys are kind of the two major Discord channels. So anyways, they said they were
probably the Divi DAO. So here, let me pull this up here.
Yeah, no, this is
Jim. I think he's referring to here. So yes, that's Divi DAO is Jim's YouTube channel, And then, yes, in there's a bunch of discussions on the computational calculi. So
Okay.
then that's our the Friday group. It's kind of a blend of, starts off with consensus, and depending on how the conversation goes, it's, at some point they kind of move into computational calculi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what but I'm just curious. Maybe there's, I mean, the world of YouTube is so broad and vast. There's still probably stuff out there that I haven't come across.
Yeah. How do you spell DiviDAO?
So DIVVY.
You put the link in.
Yeah, I just put the link in there.
Okay. Yeah, and I put the link.
Okay.
Well.
Oh, cool. Okay, this is something that I'm not familiar with, so I'll have to take a look at this. I knew there was more stuff out there.
Well,
someone made a whole series of channels. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
If it helps give you reference, the dude that put on that, one of the students in the class that you just gave me, the kid with the nose ring,
right? Yeah,
he is the one that started the study group.
Okay.
And again, he did that like I think 4 sessions, 4 weeks or so prior to. I don't know what happened. Maybe they started the group and Greg noticed the group and said, "Hey, I'll teach a course." I don't know if that's how it got coordinated or what.
Okay. Yeah, now that name is looking familiar. Jake Gilberg. He actually just recently came back into the collab.
Okay.
So I didn't realize he was a powerhouse in mathematics. So now I have a better appreciation. He seemed pretty smart when, he was, communicating with some of the other people in the channel. I didn't realize that he was at that level. So that's good to know.
My impression is that
he was active early on in the collab, and then he disappeared for a long time.
Yeah.
Good to have him back.
Yeah.
So I'm just checking out that.
That's great that he put together this.
Actually, I'm going to put copy.
It's really helping me.
That's awesome.
Okay, cool. I got the DiviDAO channel.
Yeah, the DiviDAO. Well, if you're there, I mean, DiviDAO is it's endless. It's like a bottomless pit of stuff. So.
Okay, great. How does it relate to the collab channel?
Jim, he's kind of the creator of both. He can probably explain that. It's essentially the YouTube version of the collab.
Great. It's kind of accompanies it.
Yeah. So if you're in Discord talking to people and asking questions, and then you want to have like a meeting session, well, then that's DiviDAO.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
In other words, we self-manage it. We have everybody's an admin in the collab.
Yeah.
Whereas in the main channels, everything has to be done officially, and you have to have permission, and whereas we sort of encourage everybody to do their own thing in the collab.
Yeah, you're helping me make sense of it. I envision creating a community, and I envision kind of like an outer circle where people who, just need to get acclimatized, and that sounds like you guys, and then an inner circle where it can be a little bit more intense. So it all matches kind of the structure I've thought of. I'm curious the history of DiviDAO and the collab. Way back when I had watched videos with Scenario, and I saw Jim in those videos, and I do remember the word DiviDAO and whatever. So was DiviDAO the first thing you started? And
actually, it was free trust. came first. DiviDAO sort of became the place where the scenario people were, before our chain became a separate thing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was splitting up. It's like the community, scenario community, became DiviDAO.
Right.
And then when our chain co-op started, people left DiviDAO and came back to our chain. But DiviDAO still has the count. Has is a connected community that's been involved with other communities, like the collab. It's not specifically our chain only.
Right. Nice. And did collab, you started that after DiviDAO?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The collab, is supposed to be a cooperation laboratory where we learn how to cooperate, and
Nice.
it's, some cooperation emerges. We haven't figured out the formula for getting people to work together, but
Yeah.
we're hoping to research that and define that and further.
Nice. Did collab start after the split up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
collabs. When did collab start?
I'm guessing once our chain community started to come together.
Yeah, the real driving force behind the collab was cooperation between Digital Life Collective and our chain. Diglife.com, development in the social ledger and identity. There's half a dozen or so members of both our chain and Digital Life Collective.
Mm-hmm.
And this was sort of like the union of those activities.
Okay. Cool.
So, and it's where people can be brought in that maybe aren't members of DigLife or our chain yet,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. That it's whereas those are closed communities, so to speak. You have to be a member.
Yeah.
To be in it, where you can bring people into the collab and they can learn about DigLife and our chain. And I have to go. I'm going to make Steve the host of this meeting. And if you can make sure that when you close the meeting out, you end the meeting so my recording doesn't go on.
Oh, okay. And gotcha.
So I'll leave this this open recording going.
Okay. Very good.
Although there's only 14 minutes left in there, and we probably could stop it now. I don't think much else is going to happen, but
cool. I think I'm going to sign off too.
What do we call you, NM8?
It's just Nate.
Nate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's clever. Nate.
Yeah. It's kind of a joke on, I do a lot of therapy for intense early childhood stuff. So that's Big Nate and Little Nate.
Gotcha.
So to speak. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Nice meeting you, Nate.
So you want to end now, Steve?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So.
Thanks.
Yep. Have a great day. And so I'll end the recording. So, well, Jim, did you want to stop recording, or I know I got it now?
Yeah, you're the host. So,
yeah. So can you take it back, or do I have to?
Well, I guess if I leave the meeting, it'll stop. Goodbye.
Okay. See you, Jim.